Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. We have reached the All-Star break here in Season 3, and through the first half of the season, our Orioles are playing outstanding baseball as we are currently 54-36, 18 games above 500, first place in the AL East. Life is good at the moment. Last episode, we covered international free agency, in which we added 3 new prospects in catcher Gunnar Bergeson, starting pitcher Jeremiah Correa, and two-way player Obi Yoshihito. Yoshihito is certainly the most notable of the 3 guys we added. He is a 25-year-old left-handed pitcher from Japan, but he also rakes. In 2 appearances on the mound in AA, he has not been great. His ERA is in the 7s. But at the plate, in 26 at-bats, he's hitting .385, 4 home runs, and OPS at around 1350. I know that's a small sample size, but he's really hitting the ball well so far in his professional career. Here's a look at the standings, by the way, throughout both the AL and the NL. We are currently 7.5 games ahead of second place in the AL East. The Twins have the best record in the AL. We are second. The NL is pretty competitive as well. The Dodgers and Cardinals have nice leads in their divisions, but the Mets and Braves are tied for first in the AL East. A large reason why we have played so well this season has been the progression of the young guys. I believe we currently lead the majors in home runs here at the All-Star break, and our lineup has just been so good. The pitching has been a little bit inconsistent, but the bullpen has been one of the best in the majors, and a lot of the starting pitchers like Matthew Thompson are really starting to come along. We're going to go through the All-Star events. Today's episode will not solely be dedicated to the All-Star stuff, but we are going to cover it, including the Futures game, which I believe we have 2 players, including D.L. Hall, who's had a pretty down season, if we're being honest, in AA, but he still has a lot of potential. That's how he made it. And then we also have first baseman Carmen Sixto as well, who's been a little bit disappointing in AAA too, but he has played pretty well the past month or so. The NL starting pitcher is Tim Cate of the Washington Nationals, and this is significant because if you remember towards the end of last episode, we got offered a trade for him. It was Liam Bumaye straight up for Tim Cate, which is a really interesting trade, especially since I don't view Bumaye as a super long-term piece of the future, so I'm curious to see how Cate ends up pitching, and sure enough, he did end up actually getting the loss. Carmen Sixto had 1 at-bat in which he struck out. D.L. Hall got to pitch 1 inning, in which he did pretty well. Now on to the Home Run Derby, and we do have a participant. Max Muncy will be in the Derby. He is currently second in all of baseball with 28 home runs, only trailing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I think it's going to be a very fun opportunity to use Muncy here in the Derby. Last year in our Pirates franchise, Josh Bell made the Home Run Derby a lot, and we won a ton of home run derbies with him. So hopefully we can do it here with Muncy as well. I'm sorry that these jerseys are really ugly. For those who did not watch the All-Star game in real life, these are the actual jerseys that they wore, which, I mean, I could make something better than that in 5 minutes. Here's a look at all the participants. Muncy's first round opponent is Nick Castellanos, and we're going to simulate to Muncy's first appearance. He is the last player to get in his first set of swings. As you can see in the other matchups, Mike Trout has upset top seed Vlad Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso defeated Bryce Harper, and Rhys Hoskins ended up defeating Freddie Freeman. So the winner of this matchup between Castellanos and Muncy will end up facing Hoskins in the second round. That was a bomb! First swing of the day for Muncy, and it is a deep shot. Being a lefty at the Giants ballpark is going to be fun for a guy like Muncy because he's going to be able to hit it into the McCovey Cove. Nick Castellanos hit 23 first-round homers. That is a lot. That is a very tall task for Muncy, who's gotten off to a slow start. Only 1 home run. Does that have enough for 2? It does. Seems like now he's starting to get into a little bit of a groove, although that one was short. A lot of Muncy's home runs so far have been short. That one definitely was not. 453 feet. Muncy only needs 1 more home run of at least 440 feet to get an extra 30 seconds of bonus time. He nearly had one earlier at 435. This one into dead center, 426. We're about a minute and a half into the round. Muncy is not on pace to defeat Castellanos, as he needs 19 home runs to win, 18 to tie, and he needs to do it in about 2.5 minutes, and that's if he gets that extra bonus time. As you can see, his energy bar is starting to decrease, so he's probably going to have to call a timeout as well soon. A lot of these hits for Muncy have been just short. Probably would have been gone, say, in like Colorado or at Yankee Stadium, but here at Oracle Park, they are not getting over the fence. That one did, a 426-foot nuke. That one as well at 382. Muncy is now only at 9 home runs, and he's going to have to call a timeout with 1:06 left. So the situation is that Muncy needs 14 home runs to tie in pretty much a minute and a half, and one of those home runs within the next minute has to go at least 440. So his chances do not look good here, as that one does get over. I don't think he's had any splash shots yet. He's had a lot going to right. That one might have gone over the seats and into the river possibly. Now he is starting to heat up, but it might be too little too late. There's about 45 seconds left counting the bonus, but he still has not gotten that extra 440-foot home run, so he's going to need that now, or else his chances of winning are done. And there you go, Max Muncy, only 15 home runs in the first round, and he is eliminated by Nick Castellanos. So a very unfortunate home run derby for Muncy. We were hoping for a little bit more. As you can see, Castellanos only hit 15 in the second round, and he lost to the eventual world champion, Rhys Hoskins of the Philadelphia Phillies. So congratulations to Hoskins on the home run derby win. And we're going to go to the All-Star game now. Our Orioles ended up with 4 All-Stars, 2 pitchers, in Alex Colomé and Edwin Diaz, both very deserving. We have the starting catcher, Adley Rutschman, who was an All-Star starter for the second straight season. And then the 19-year-old phenom, Louis St. John, is the 4th teenager in MLB history to make an All-Star game, and the first to do it since Bryce Harper over 10 years ago. Here's the National League roster as well, and while we're at it, we're going to take a look at the minor league all-star rosters as well. We will not participate in the minor league all-star games, but I figured I'd take a look. For AA, we had starting pitcher Luke Rennie, and then relievers Julian Starnes, Cosmo Cruz, and Willie Cruz. I don't think they're related. Miguel Cabrera made it for the Erie Seawolves. Poor guy, how the mighty have fallen. We had Kobe Mayo get in, Christian Dominguez the second, Hudson Haskin, Tobias Pennock. Xavier Bowman is the starter. That's pretty cool. We have not talked about Bowman a ton this year, but here are his numbers for anyone curious. And then looking at the AAA All-Star game, we had starting pitcher Felix Paulino get in. He's probably going to get called up pretty soon. Same can be said about reliever Matthias Hundertwasser, who is also an All-Star. We did not get any of our hitters in the game, unfortunately. Unless I missed someone, we did not get anyone else in for AAA. So let's get to the All-Star game here in San Francisco. I know the logo says Colorado, but that's a lie. We're not going to play the full All-Star game. What we're going to do is we are going to quick manage it, and we will hop in for any appearances made by our players. So, for example, if Adley Rutschman or Louis St. John gets an at-bat, we will hop in for them, and we will also pitch with Edwin Diaz and Alex Colomé if they get the opportunity to pitch in this game. Here's a look at the starting lineups for both squads, of course headlined by our very own Adley Rutschman. The Angels lead all teams with 3. They had Anthony Rendon, Nick Castellanos, and Mike Trout. So the NL starting pitcher is Miles Michaelis of the Cardinals. Not really who you would expect, but he has had a great season. Does not get off to a great start today. Alex Bregman hits a home run, and then Nick Castellanos did as well. So it is a 3-0 lead going into Adley Rutschman's first at-bat here in the top of the second. Runner on first, 1 out, facing off against Michaelis. Another 1-1 pitch. This one is grounded to second. The NL going to try to turn 2, and they do. So really worst case scenario on that at-bat for Adley Rutschman, but oh well, what are you going to do? Let's simulate forward now. Lucas Giolito starting for the AL. He allowed 2 in the bottom of the second. Garrett Cole's going to check in. He did fine. As you can see, pretty much there's going to be a pitching change every inning for both sides, just so we can get as many different players in. I decided after everybody got 2 at-bats, they will be subbed out. So this will be Adley Rutschman's second and final at-bat of the game, as it is hit high into center field, but it will be caught by Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. Simulating forward, as you can see, a lot of substitutions in. Zach Plesac of the Cleveland Guardians, I guess, is on the mound. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to call them here. We're going to get Louis St. John in right here. 2 outs, nobody on, facing off against Mike Clevenger. And that pitch blows right by him for a strikeout. There has not been a lot of offense, as the AL has not scored since the first inning. The NL has not scored since the second inning. Good 1-2-3 inning from Joe Musgrove. As you can see, more substitutions getting into the game. We're going to have Pedro Severino, the former Oriole. He made it with Texas. He got in it back, but he only grounded out. So now on to the bottom of the seventh. Edwin Diaz will check in on the mound, so we're going to pitch this inning with him, see how he does as he starts off striking out Trey Turner of the Washington Nationals. Now taking off against the fresh Prince, Will Smith, who draws a walk. So the NL now gets a base runner for Jose Ramirez, also of the Nationals. He swings and misses on the outside slider. That's a tough pitch to hit. That's a really nice one from Diaz. And then to finish things off, he completes the trifecta, getting Francisco Lindor to strike out. So Edwin Diaz with 3 Ks in his lone All-Star inning. Good work from Diaz. As we go to the 8th, Josh Hader is in of the Brewers. He would hit Matt Chapman. Nicky Lopez would draw a walk. So now that gives Louis St. John a really interesting opportunity. 2-1, 2 out, facing off against a lefty, which he excels against. But this one is going to be grounded right over to first, and Freddie Freeman will make the play successfully. So both LSJ and Adley Rutschman with pretty underwhelming days as they both go 0 for 2. Into the bottom of the 8th, Alex Colomé will now get to pitch, facing off against Ozzie Albies. Albies grounds out to second, and Dylan Moore makes the play. Part of the rule of the MLB All-Star Game is that each team needs an All-Star, which I understand, but why are guys like Dylan Moore and Nicky Lopez All-Stars? I just don't get it. Brandon Belt strikes out. Nice pitch from Alex Colomé. And then his final batter of the inning would be David Bodie of the Cubs. 2-2 pitch. Goes down looking. 2 very strong innings from Edwin Diaz and Alex Colomé. And we will go into the top of the 9th. Score remains 3-2. No runs from either side since the second inning. That would change, however. A 3-run blast for Dylan Moore. It's now 6-2. Liam Hendriks going to try to come in and finish things off, but he would have some trouble walking Betts and Ozuna. Will Smith and Jose Ramirez would drive in a couple runs. Now it's 6-4. James Karinchak of Cleveland checks in. So we're going to pitch possibly the final at bat here. 2-1, 2 out, 2-run game. Alfaro swings and misses. And the American League wins the All-Star game by the final score of 6-4. Not a ton of offense in this game. From the 3rd inning to the 8th inning, nobody scored, which is pretty impressive. Strong pitching from both sides. Dylan Moore, of all people, ended up winning All-Star Game MVP. He went 2 for 2 with that big home run in the 9th inning. LSJ and Adley Rutschman both went 0 for 2, but Edwin Diaz and Alex Colomé both ended up pitching pretty well, too. So that will conclude the All-Star break. We're now going to hop in to the second half of the season. And in the end of the last episode, I asked whether people wanted an episode dedicated to the All-Star Game or if we just skim over that and go to the trade deadline. I figured, why not do both today? So, obviously, we dedicated a lot of time to the All-Star break, and we're also going to go up to the trade deadline, but we are going to make a quick little roster move. I wanted to call up Matthias Hundertwasser. I think he's finally ready, and we're going to send Sir Anthony Dominguez down. I know he's pitched a lot better, but since he is rotated between the majors and AAA, we don't have to use a minor league option with him, so that's why I ended up choosing to send him down. So we're going to play the first game after the All-Star break. I thought this was a pretty interesting one here against the Toronto Blue Jays. These are 2 of the most potent offenses in the majors so far this season. As I said earlier, the Orioles currently lead all of baseball in home runs. You know who's in second place? The Toronto Blue Jays. German Marquez will be starting for Baltimore. He had a pretty rocky first half of the season, whether that was before the trade or after. Hopefully, this start can really give him some newfound confidence and he can pitch well down the stretch of this season. He gets a nice strikeout there on Kevin Biggio, fooling him on the outside knuckle curve. Now facing off against George Springer with a runner on. See ya. He goes down on the changeup. Good first inning for German Marquez. He strikes out 2. And we will go to the bottom half of the inning, as it's going to be Alek Manoah, a former top prospect starting for the Blue Jays. He has not had a great season, 5.29 ERA, pretty high whip as well. His first batter would be Max Muncy, the home run derby participant, who goes down looking. 2 away now for the first-time All-Star, Louis St. John, who also strikes out. Good inning for Manoah, good inning for both pitchers, who have a lot to prove here in this game, as both of them have been pretty disappointing this season. Top of the second now, it's going to be Teoscar Hernandez who goes down to the outside slider. That would have been ball 4 had he not swung at it. So a really nice pitch there by German Marquez. Can he get another strikeout? He sure does, as the infielder Mariano Escobar will go down swinging. 2 very strong innings to start this game for German Marquez with 4 Ks. And we go to the bottom of the second. We'll see if the Orioles offense can get anything going as Jalen Miller with a bomb into center. It goes off the wall. Miller with a double as he slides into second safely. And now Baltimore has a runner in scoring position and an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. That'll bring up Marco Luciano. Count is full, 3-2, and he swings at a pitch he should not have swung at. That would have been an easy ball 4, but Manoah fools him on the low and outside changeup, and the score remains tied at 0 as we go to the third. 1-2 pitch here for Danny Jansen. He's going to go down looking on the high and outside sinker. Both pitchers are just absolutely dominating this game. Bo Bichette now up for the Blue Jays. Hits a blooper into shallow left. Great catch by Marco Luciano to get out of the inning. And German Marquez through 3 innings just looked unbelievable. This looks like the German Marquez of the past few seasons rather than this one. Bottom 3 now, it's Blaze Jordan getting that one into the left center gap for an extra base hit. Jordan rounding first, headed to second. The throw is not in time. A nice hit there for Jordan, who, of course, in the last episode had a 3-home-run game, if you remember. And now he has an opportunity to score here, as it'll be Max Muncy. This one is going to be grounded to second. What a play! Kevin Biggio with a diving grab to get the out. Runner would advance to third, so now possibly the first run of the game is 90 feet away from home for Elliot Ramos. 1-2 pitch, lines this one to short. Bo Bichette with a nice play. So strong defense from the Blue Jays gets them out of that inning. 3 scoreless so far for Alek Manoah, and so far neither offense has really gotten much of anything going. Let's go to the 4th inning now. We'll see if anything changes. Well, probably not for Toronto's offense, as Kevin Biggio swings way too early. German Marquez up to 6 strikeouts on the day, now facing off against George Springer, who goes down on the slider. That's going to be strikeout number 7 for Marquez, and Toronto's high-octane offense has no answers. Rowdy Tellez would also strike out, so all 3 outs in that inning went down on Ks. Through 4, Marquez has only allowed 2 hits, both of which went to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He has striken out 8 batters and allowed no runs. Bottom 4, high fly ball from Louis St. John into straightaway center. That one is gone. And the Orioles have the first ones to strike. LSJ with a 426-foot moonshot. The rookie with his 19th home run of the season. And the first-time All-Star will get Baltimore on the board, as it is now 1-0. Just such a beautiful swing there from Louis St. John. Despite his young age, he has not hit the rookie wall yet, and he has been playing some of his best baseball here in the month of July. Part of the reason why he did end up making the All-Star game when it was all said and done. Adley Rutschman now, a couple batters later, gets that one over the glove of Bo Bichette for a hit. And now it seems like the Orioles offense, after a slow start, is really finding a groove again. Jalen Miller, the very next batter, who already has a base hit today, going to try to add another one. And this one is going to be grounded right into the glove of Manoah. To Bichette, over to Tellez, and the Blue Jays turn 2. A 1-6-3 double play, but Baltimore does get on the board, courteous of a solo home run from Louis St. John. 5th inning now, Randall Grichuk with a single into right field. The first hit for Toronto by a player not named Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So Grichuk will reach, and that'll bring up Danny Jansen, the catcher. 2-2 pitch goes down on the slider. Another strikeout for German Marquez, who now has 5 scoreless innings, and he is not really showing much signs of slowing down. Bottom 5, it's a moonshot from Marco Luciano. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is fair. A bat flip for Luciano, his 11th home run of the season, and the Orioles extend the lead. It's now 2-0. Obviously, Marco Luciano went off to a great start this season. He was one of the best hitters in baseball through the month of April. He has not played at such a high level since, but he's still having a pretty good season. He's hit for a lot more power than he did last year, and the average is still at a consistent 260, 270. Max Muncy now with a bomb into right. That one is going to be gone. I think he knew it was out as soon as it touched the bat. 397 feet, his 29th home run of the season, and Alek Manoah now is really being rocked. Baltimore's offense has 3 home runs in the past inning and a half. Thankfully for Manoah, it would eventually come to an end as Elliot Ramos will line out to Vlad Guerrero Jr. That'll end Alek Manoah's day. He wasn't terrible, but he did pitch poorly in those final couple innings. Let's go to the 6th now. German Marquez still in the game as that one will drop for a hit. Jalen Miller unable to get to it quick enough. So Bo Bichette will reach base with nobody out, and maybe this is where Toronto's offense can finally get some run support. Or maybe Kevin Biggio will strike out for a 3rd time. That's the hat trick for Biggio. Marquez up to 10 on the day. George Springer now with 2 away. Weekly grounds it to short. Tough play by Marco Luciano to get the out. That'll in the 6th inning. That'll end German Marquez's day. I know he's been pitching really well, but his pitch count is approaching around 100, so he would be taken out. Quite a start to the second half of the season, though, for Marquez. Julian Merriweather checks into relief for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's had a pretty busy season so far this year, approaching 100 innings. He would start this one with a strikeout of Louis St. John on a low and outside slider. That's a tough pitch to hit. That'll bring up Adley Rutschman now with 2 away. The 2-1 pitch from Merriweather, and that one will be hit right at short. Bo Bichette makes the play. And a pretty simple 1-2-3 inning for Merriweather. We will go now to the top of the 7th, and it will be the rookie hailing from Austria, Matthias Hundertwasser, checking into the game. The plan for Hundertwasser was to have him called up last year, but he did struggle. However, he has pitched a lot better this year in the minors, and he is definitely ready to be a big leaguer now. His first batter would be Rowdy Tellez, who grounds that one up the middle. However, the shift proves to be a major success as the Orioles do get the first out of the inning. That was Luciano who made the play. Teoscar Hernandez now 3-2. Watches the outside changeup go by him for ball 4. So Hundertwasser allows his first base runner. Mariano Escobar now 1-1 pitch. Flies this one out to left. Ryan Mountcastle makes the play. Yes, Mountcastle is playing in left today. I don't think he's played in left all year. But he is in this game, and he does make the play pretty easily. 2 away now for Grichuk. The 3-2, swinging a miss. A very strong first inning from Matthias Hundertwasser as he registers his first of likely many major league strikeouts. Striking out batters is Hundertwasser's strength. He does that at a very high level, and his debut ends up being a successful one. Bottom 7, another 1-2-3 inning from Julian Merriweather as he blows a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right by Heston Kjerstad. And we will go into the 8th. Still 3-0 as the All-Star Edwin Diaz will check in. Diaz was signed as a sort of high-risk, high-reward player in the offseason for Baltimore, and so far the Orioles have certainly seeped the benefits of that signing. Good play by Max Muncy to get the first out of the inning as that one went right down the first base line. Bo Bichette also gets it right down the first base line. However, Max Muncy bobbles it. So Bo Bichette will reach base. Max Muncy is not able to get 2 straight good defensive plays. Now there's a runner on here for Kevin Biggio, who was striking out 3 times today. Doesn't strike out here, but I think that would have been better than a double play, as the Orioles turn the 3-6-3 double play to end the 8th. Toronto's offense still with no runs to show for it, and we go to the bottom half of the inning. The longtime LA Dodger Kenley Jansen is going to be in relief for the Blue Jays, his 37th appearance of the year. Taking on Max Muncy here with nobody on and 1 out. 1-1 pitch from former Dodger to another former Dodger, and Max Muncy will single against his old teammate. So Muncy will reach base, and the Orioles just want to add some more insurance to this lead. I know Toronto's offense has done nothing today, but 3 runs is not overly comfortable for them, so they're going to make it a 5-run lead. Elliot Ramos with a moonshot into left center field for a 2-run blast. The rookie with his 20th of the year, and the Orioles are now up 5-0. I think Baltimore is in a pretty comfortable spot to win this ball game. I don't think Baltimore's done, though. I think they would like to add some more as the next batter, Louis St. John, gets a pitch he likes. That one goes past the glove of Vladdy Jr. for a base hit. So Louis St. John is now on first. We know he has some wheels, and that will bring up Ryan Mountcastle, who's had a pretty quiet day today, currently 0 for 3. Of course, he has had sort of a down year, and his second half of the season would not start particularly strong. He is now 0 for 4, grounding into a double play to end the inning. So Kenley Jansen gets out of a little bit of a jam, but he does allow 2, and it would take quite a massive collapse for the Orioles to lose this game. On to the top of the ninth, Colin Poche is into relief. The original plan was to have the closer Taylor Rogers check in, but after the Elliot Ramos home run, it was no longer a save situation, so there is no need to use Taylor Rogers unless this game gets out of reach for Poche, as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. would get a base hit. Although Toronto's offense has not played very well, Vlad is 3 for 4 with a trio of singles, so I guess he's played well. George Springer now, 3-2. Did he go around? He did not. So that's going to be ruled a ball, and that'll be a walk for George Springer. So Toronto starts feeding off of a pair of base runners. Rowdy Tellez does strike out. Colin Poche needed that one. That's a big strikeout for him. That'll bring up Teoscar Hernandez now 3-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did. The umpire calls strike 3 on the check swing. And now this ball game will come down to the 19-year-old Mariano Escobar of a 1-2. Strike 3. Goes down on the curveball. And the Baltimore Orioles start the second half of the season with a 5-0 shutout victory over the divisional rival Toronto Blue Jays. This was a good win for the Orioles. I felt that we played pretty well today. Toronto's offense was not good, to put it nicely. Their pitching was a little bit inconsistent. We had 5 runs, 9 hits, 4 home runs. Muncy, Luciano, St. John, and Ramos all went deep. But I think the big story for us today was the pitching, and our pitching was unbelievably good. German Marquez, 6 shutout innings. He gets the win. He's definitely the player of the game today. He was phenomenal for the Orioles. Matthias Hundertwasser had a nice debut, did not allow any hits, only 1 walk. Edwin Diaz pitched well. Colin Poche pitched well. So overall, just a really nice win there against a really tough lineup. So we're going to simulate past the 30th. That means we're going to simulate, I believe, 9 games, 7 of which are against the Toronto Blue Jays. That's a pretty tough stretch, considering the Blue Jays are a tough team, and they are our main competition for the division. We are getting a lot of trade offers, which is not a surprise since it is the deadline. The Cubs want Eduardo Rodriguez. Now, this isn't a bad offer. Patrick Bailey's a good prospect, but we're not selling. We have no reason to do that. The Mariners offer is an interesting trade. It's for relief pitcher Drew Steckenrider, who I think would make a lot of sense for us. They offered us a trade for Kenyon Middleton earlier in the season. I think both of them would be good fits. Now, obviously, we're not going to trade Xavier Edwards for them because he's one of our best prospects, but I do like the idea of getting one of those guys from Seattle. Heston Kjerstad suffered a minor injury. We're going to call up Christian Robinson to replace him. I never anticipated I would keep Robinson in the minors this long this season, but that's just how things kind of worked out. The Reds want Adley Rutschman. Now, they are on crack if they think we're going to trade him. Yes, I would love to use Hunter Green. He is a machine. But no, we're not trading Adley Rutschman, nor would I ever consider that. So we ended up doing pretty well in that stretch. We took 3 of 4 in the first series against the Blue Jays, split against Miami, and then took 2 of 3 against Toronto. So winning both series against the Blue Jays is a very big deal. And that's going to end today's episode. Next time, we do have the trade deadline. Should we make a big move? Get a guy on the trade block, one of these stars like Gleyber Torres or Brian Hayes? Should we go for some more under-the-radar pickups like some of those relievers on the Mariners? We certainly have a lot of options of what we can do. We certainly have the farm system talent to go and make a big move. So what do you guys think we should do? Let me know in the comments below what you would do here in this trade deadline, as we have really the opportunity to turn ourselves into not only just a playoff contender, but maybe a contender to make a run this year in the postseason. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.